the triple dipper.
Very good.
You gotta dip it. You gotta dip it like how you dip it in the bedroom.
My blessings though.
Ranch and natural hot. This is the most important one. Can't wait. You gotta get it when it's hot. I know you don't like it hot. You like it warm. Yeah. Room temperature, but you gotta pull it. You gotta see that.
Oh, Georgie.
Give me that.
Georgie.
Wow. That was...
One more try. What the heck?
You waited too long. Oh, gosh. All right.
No word, right.
Tune in tonight, guys. 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, there he goes.
Happily ever after. Question mark.
My wet socks, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a great day with friends and family. When we first see Darcey and Georgi in episode 6 of Happily Ever After, he holds up a doll and says that it looks like her when she gets her eyelashes done. And Darcey doesn't like that.
See, that's the one. Exactly the same. That's you. Like,
nah, Georgi, you're tripping here. I mean, that doll doesn't even have a chin. Meanwhile, Darcey has a more distinctive jawline than 99% of dudes on the planet Earth. She looks like Jinx from Pokemon, except her face is white. But these days, anyone can be black, right, Jasmine? Get it? Because she identified as Afro-Latina for a while, but now she identifies as Nara Smith. Stacy saw that Darcey got over 4 million views reviewing Kava with her big European lips and said, yeah, I'll have some of that, please.
Food review time. I just got back from Europe and I am craving my favorite fast food. What do you think it is, guys? Take a guess. Bok, 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 bok.
Let me know in the comments what you think about Stacy copying Darcey. It is kind of odd how when one twin does something, they're so weirdly competitive that the other twin has to hop on the bandwagon and do the same thing. It would actually be a fascinating experiment to see one of the twins go the plastic surgery route, so what they did, and one of the twins to go the natural route. Like, I wish one of them didn't get all these cosmetic procedures and get cut off from surgery here in the United States, fly over there to Turkey for more procedures, because I want to see how they look different with age. You know, that would be a treat for the eyes, but now it's a little too late, right? They've already invested over $1 million into what they look like, and it's tough.
That's ready. Chick-fil-A. I gotta get ready for my amazing, delicious chicken.
Sots, Gino knows just how hard it is keeping up with all these payments for your spicy Latina mommy that's addicted to cosmetic surgery. And if you're like our main man Gino over here and you've accumulated a lot of debt by simping a little too hard, you're gonna enjoy today's video sponsor, PDS Debt. PDS Debt goes beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan just for you. And good news, everyone, there's no minimum credit score required. They're actually here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and put that money back where it belongs, in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. Something else important to remember is that PDS Debt has customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills. You made it this far, you're just 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/yourwetsock. That's pdsdebt.com/yourwetsock. pdsdebt.com/yourwetsock. Now let's get back to our featured program.
Got the ranch, of course, and their fries. There's something about the Chick-fil-A french fry in the waffle shape, perfectly salted. It's like crunchy on the outside, but like, I don't know, like a mashed potato on the inside.
You guys, this POV is nuts. We're underneath her, watching her smack those lips around eating these fries. It's like we're really there.
With the ranch, oh my God. And they're big. I love it so much. Oh, it's hitting the spot. Whenever I come back from Europe or vacation,
I was born and raised in North America. She keeps spamming that she just got back from Europe. Where in Europe? There's multiple countries there. It's a continent. I need context. I want to know where you were. Did you make a pit stop in Turkey for the 100th procedure? Maybe.
I can't wait to go through the fast food drive-thru. It used to be Taco Bell, my favorite, when I got home, but now I think it's Chick-fil-A. Oh.
Ew, Taco Bell's booty cheeks. I prefer Del Taco, El Pollo Loco, even Roberto's is better than Taco Bell. What's in Taco Bell's meat?
I got a spicy chicken sandwich and a...
Ugh, Stacy, how can you do this to me? At the end of the video, she shows the spicy chicken sandwich and she doesn't rip into it. The video ends there. Don't give me a little teaser. Is the rest of the video on your Patreon or something? When we first see Georgi and Darcey in episode 7 of Happily Ever After, they're in a car and he's showing her around the town he grew up in.
To see your sister for the first time after 13 years.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
But I'm maybe a little bit nervous because I don't know what they think about living Bulgaria for so long.
Yeah, big yikes. 13 years is a long time, and it shouldn't take a reality TV segment for him to come back to Bulgaria and see his family. Darcey then tells the audience that they're about to see Georgi's sister Nicolina and her husband plus the children. This is also going to be the first time that Georgi is meeting his sister's kids. So that's really nice. Seeing Darcey IRL will give the fam bam something to laugh about on the car ride home, I'll tell you what.
Wow, this place looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Very medieval.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. This is so up my alley, Socks. We got a little Bulgarian medieval times action. Georgi tells the audience because he never met his nephew and niece in person before, he wanted to earn some fun uncle points by meeting them in this medieval park. Georgi also thinks it's going to be good for Darcey to learn about their culture, survival, and he says something interesting next. So he says that he's excited to show Darcey who he is in general, to understand him better, because sometimes he can be a barbarian, sometimes he can be a nice guy. Then Darcey, of course, makes it sexual, which is on brand for her, and blurts out that she's seen him be a barbarian in the bedroom. Georgi laughs about it and they kiss. Okay, time to be brutally honest about this. When you're a 37-year-old man dating a 50-year-old woman, how do you not rock her world? 1. And 2, Darcey's like a horny old man in a woman's body. She dresses like a prostitute in Miami and Georgi allows it. It's comedy watching him trying to paint himself as this traditional Bulgarian warrior because he lives a very liberal cuck lifestyle in Miami.
I tell you, I can't relax, you know? The other night I was in a place I felt like having a few drinks. Someone ordered a bartender, I said, surprise me. He showed me a naked picture of my wife.
Здрасти.
Виж кой си идва.
Hey, здрасти.
Много се радвам.
Я се радвам
Те виждам на живо.
Ooh, a bit awkward, but I'm happy to see Georgi reunited with his sister. Meanwhile, Darcey's in the background like a proud mom. You're doing great, sweetie. It's important to remember right now that Georgi's mad emotional, thinking about how much of his sister's life he's missed out on, from her wedding to her firstborn child, etc. Hopefully, moving forward, he's more present in his sister's life. His niece and nephew say it was one of their dreams to meet their uncle IRL, so this moment's really special for them as well.
This is Darcey.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Beautiful.
Georgi's sister tells the audience that Darcey is a beautiful woman, which caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. Then she brings up how the age difference could negatively impact their relationship.
You will never get this. You will never get this. La 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 la.
I don't think Georgi wants kids, otherwise he wouldn't date a 50-year-old woman. I understand why his sister would be concerned about that though. Then a bro that looks like an extra from Robin Hood Prince of Thieves rolls up and tells them what's on the agenda today. Bagetur is a proto-Bulgarian school for survival where they teach plenty of useful skills like archery, swordsmanship, spear throwing, etc.
It's a place where they teach you how to survive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's survive.
Period. Yes, snap, slay. Darcey survived so many operating tables so far. She's totally got this. She's such a girl boss. The fam bam begins with archery. Georgi talked a big game but whiffed his first shot because his form is complete ass. Darcey's getting the group hyped by yelling her signature phrase, "Let's do it big." Haha. Wow, slay. That target, yas, bitch, work. Darcey then tells the audience, "I really think I would have been able to survive in medieval times. I think I would have been some medieval beautiful princess that had a hot, sexy knight in shining armor." Let's be for real, Darcey. If you were teleported back in medieval times, the peasants would have thought you were a witch. At this point, I can't tell if it's intentional or unintentional, but part of Darcey's brand is saying out-of-pocket shit. So she goes on a tangent about how she would casually compete in jousting. Yeah, right. Darcey's around 5 foot tall with big fake tits the size of her head and 2 left feet. So by all means, if you want to get blown the fuck up, hop on a horse and compete in a collision sport like jousting, Darce. I mean, in the first episode, Georgi had to help her up after they went on a slide, and she's gotten so much surgery that I don't even think she can run properly, let alone compete in a physically demanding sport. Sorry to go on a rant about jousting socks, but I'm actually one of the people that believe this should be an Olympic sport because it's really difficult to do. So to put this into perspective, I'm in good physical shape. I have a lot of experience riding horses. Bros, I would have to dedicate months to training before competing in a jousting tournament just to not get embarrassed. Forget about placing, forget about winning. These NPCs load up on Ozempic and plastic surgery to the point where their bodies might as well be made out of peanut brittle. They can't handle those kind of blows. The sword should have been made out of wood as well, but at least Georgi and Darcey are having fun. Georgi's channeling his inner Captain Feather Sword, playing with the kiddos. And while that's going on, Darcey is using Google Translate to talk with his sister.
Georgi is such a great uncle. He's having so much fun and looking forward to having more amazing moments.
Oh, whatever. Calling Georgi a great uncle is so troll. He spent an hour tops with these kids. There's a reason why I showed a visual of Uncle Rico earlier, Darce. Get a clue.
I know I've been with Georgi for a while, and we've been married for almost a year. Does he speak of me a lot?
Yo, what an invasive question asked Georgi's sister. Bad form, Darcey. What they privately discuss is really none of your business, and it's very rude to fish for information as soon as you meet someone. Ew, why are you smiling like that, creeper? Georgi's sister plays this cool and is polite, despite Darcey making it apparent that she's a red flag.
Казва, че е доволен от нея.
Google Translate works its magic, and Darcey is glad to hear that he has told his sister positive things about her and their relationship.
Georgi has spoken a lot about you, that he loves you very much and wants you to understand and love each other for many years.
The insecurity ick is over 9,000 socks. After Darcey hears the reassurance that she was craving from her husband's sister, she gives her a hug, which I don't know about that. You know, it isn't particularly normal in Eastern European culture. They don't throw out I love yous and hugs like someone from California. Even though Darcey grew up in Connecticut, she reminds me of those fake ass people that live in LA that as soon as they meet someone, they tell them that they love them and you're my new best friend. This people pleaser mentality is cancer because she's acting like this, so they like her and say it back, but realistically, they probably think she's mad weird. Like, this family knows this little TV show is her and Georgi's whole life, so of course they are going to be courteous about it, but damn, I wish I had the footage of that car ride home because I'd kill to hear their unfiltered appraisal of Darcey. Darcey then tells the audience that after Nicolina told her this good news, she is convinced that Georgi has only told her good things and he knows that their relationship is super special. Man Bun comes back and tells the group it's time to head to the front gate where they say their goodbyes.
Thank you.
Ciao,
Ja
ciao.
se običam.
Obično malki dječico.
Love you.
Georgi then tells his sister that he's concerned about what mom and dad will think about him and Darcey's relationship. His sister reassures him that their parents want him to be happy, but he needs to be absolutely sure that he doesn't want children because that could be an issue down the road. As soon as they're headed back to the hotel, Georgi is bombarded with questions from Darcey about whether his sister liked her or not. Darcey says, I felt her energy super positive. I love her, so sweet. Maybe they said 4 sentences back and forth. So when they arrive back at the hotel, Darcey once again makes this trip all about herself.
What do we do now?
We're going to bed.
What do you mean we're going to bed?
What do I do?
I don't know.
Maybe if you want, I can take you downtown, Plovdiv.
You could take me downtown all you want.
It's been an emotional day for your husband, and obviously he has a lot on his mind. Maybe be considerate enough to ask him what he wants to do tonight. Also, to make matters worse, Darcey talks about wearing something sexy tonight and holds up lingerie. She says, nice and sheer, little one piece, easy access to go downtown. So cringe. Mike, do you regret not disciplining your daughter and financing her embarrassing dream of being famous for all the wrong reasons? Because if this was my legacy, that would be soul crushing, man. Georgie's looking at Darcey right now like you can't be a real person. Then she says, let me get my bow and arrow out, and bam, shoots the lingerie at him and he laughs it off. But
Today was a really good day. Georgie's sister made me feel accepted, so I think I made a good first impression. And now that the pressure's off, I just want us to have fun and relax before we meet Georgie's parents in a few days.
now, despite Darcey wanting a couple days to themselves, it turns out that it works out better for Georgie's parents for them to meet up tomorrow, but Darcey feels blindsided by this.
Well, if you wear that, we better stay home. We need to wake up tomorrow early anyway to meet my parents.
Tomorrow meeting your parents?
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that.
In Darcey's defense, Georgi should have given her advance notice. However, her reaction seems over the top, especially because the entire purpose of this trip was to meet his parents.
I thought they were gone for a few days.
Yeah,
and
they're
then,
coming back tomorrow.
are you kidding me? We just met your sister today and the family, that's so amazing. And I thought maybe we'd have a day or so for ourselves to continue our honeymoon, you know.
Yeah, no, it's absurd that Darcey proposed that this trip should double as their honeymoon in the first place. We all know that wasn't Georgi's idea. Darcey and Georgi were married on November 11th of year 2023. And as you all are aware, honeymoons take place soon after the wedding, not a year later. So obviously this is just another way for Darcey to make this trip about herself.
Honeymoon.
Okay.
You know, I wanted the bullseye.
We have a night for ourselves, but not a day.
Ew, Darcey's stinky, dirty butt. Everything's about sex with her. You can still put on your outfit and bang Georgi. He's just telling you that he wants to have an early night because y'all have to wake up early tomorrow. It's really not that deep.
Why couldn't you tell me this before? I would have been more prepared.
We were busy earlier.
Well,
so-
I kind of would like to know our plans before you make the plans. Like, I would like to be involved.
I agree that Georgi needs to work on his communication, but I also couldn't imagine being in a relationship with a creature that's that self-absorbed.
I've got to mentally prepare myself again tonight for tomorrow.
Darce, this is becoming a lot more dramatic than it has to be. The only thing that changes is that you have to wake up earlier than you were expecting in order to get ready. But that's about it. I'm not sure what mental gymnastics she's referring to.
Everything with you is like a mystery. It's like I never know what's going to happen.
You don't like that?
No.
Like-
No. You would sweep things under the rug and patch it up all the time.
You can have your alone time, your honeymoon time, after you meet his parents on another day. You guys are there for 3 weeks. Georgi communicates to Darcey that he doesn't want to argue because he wants them to be in a positive mood before meeting his parents. Darcey doesn't give a single frick though. She brings up her concerns about his different streams of income.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you everything.
It concerns me that you can't be open and honest about your finances with your wife.
Can you just let things go?
No, because honestly, it never really gets resolved.
Don't you just find it fascinating how the resolution in Darcey's mind is Georgi telling the entire world how much money he makes? I agree that if you're married and building a life together, when it comes to income and debt, there needs to be a certain level of transparency. But I don't like how she's putting him on the spot here because it's really none of our business. Am I curious? Absolutely. But I don't expect a private person like Georgi to tell us sensitive information like this. However, now she's made it so that if he doesn't, he looks suspicious.
I don't know.
I don't really have time to count how much I make, you know?
No.
And I'm so busy all the time, so I don't have time to count how much I make.
So you
It's
get
just,
cash, like cold hard cash.
No, I don't get cash.
So check your bank account.
Yeah.
Does Georgi know the exact number money-wise that you make from your multiple streams of income? Does he know how much money your dad deposits into your account from the family trust? I highly doubt she earns enough from the clothing line or the TLC checks to cover her expensive lifestyle in Miami. So if you're demanding the sensitive information from your husband like this in a public setting, well, that's only fair if you're also willing to bring the same level of financial transparency to the audience.
I just don't know. I feel like I don't know much about you. I don't know.
I'm actively losing brain cells, Socks. What do you mean you don't know much about the dude you chose to marry?
If I tell how much I made, you're gonna spend it all.
You know what? Given how much he spends just to maintain her snatched physical appearance, maybe. I mean, that is possible. This smells like a fake argument, though, to me, because Florian seemed like he knew all about the company Georgi was working for in episode 2. He stated that because Georgi moved up the ranks, he's making a lot more than he was previously. Also, let's not forget, Socks, that earlier in that very same episode, Darcey, Stacy, and Florian were bagging on Georgi for being a massage therapist.
Like he said, there's nobody in Bulgaria that looks like you. What? And I get it. We've been to small towns before here. Stacy, he's basically. Wow. Did you hear this, Flo?
Yeah.
Basically saying that, people would probably think that I look like a hoe.
As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, but to me at least, they came across like morons because they even went as far as to say, who is Georgi to judge what Darcey wears in public when he touches other people for a living? Massage therapists, first of all, it's a very physically demanding job. Second of all, they help heal other people.
Him is doing like massages, basically like he want to touch people feet, to touch people's body, like
he's the least traditional person.
Point?
And you know what? It's rich to hear that from someone that voluntarily dresses like a hooker when she's 50 years old with 2 kids. I'm not surprised that she doesn't have any respect for people that work real jobs. She comes across very elitist, and so does her sister. Realistically, they've never had a struggle in their life. That's a fact. They grew up with a rich daddy. They're very out of touch with what normal people have to go through, and it shows. If you had a problem with Georgi working as a massage therapist, then you shouldn't have pursued him in the first place at the start of the relationship. It's not the same thing, but it reminds me of when creepy old dudes enter relationships with strippers and then make them feel like whores for working that job. Not to mention, you guys, given how intrusive a lot of the fans of 90 Day Fiancé shows are, it's possible that Georgi doesn't want the entire audience to know everything about his job, where he works, etc. Just because nothing is off limits for the twins doesn't mean that Georgi's life has to be the same way. I think that he's entitled to a certain level of privacy, and if anything, I'm actually happy for Georgi that he has a job outside of the TLC shows, because here's the thing, he's not that reliant on Darcey. He's not like Florian. Florian has nothing outside of the TLC opportunities and being a social media influencer, and I'm sure that Stacy enjoys having that extra control over Florian. I'm sure that because they're so weirdly competitive, Darcey looks at that dynamic and says, you know what? I would like that because that would improve the chances of this guy remaining with me forever if he always feels like he's relying on me.
Well, I don't care about what you spend your money on. Pay your share, I pay my share. I don't really give a it's your money. The point is,
Darcey then says, you don't want to tell me because you don't want to include me in all your plans about the future. Meanwhile, Georgi looks like he has a massive headache because dealing with Darcey in itself feels like a full-time job. Don't get me wrong, I'm curious about this particular stream of income they're referring to. However, time and place, I mean, peppering this dude for information the day before he's about to reunite with his parents after 13 years, it's not the move. Darcey says, we have these amazing moments full of love, but then there are these moments of just explosion and toxicity. Darcey, do you think Georgi would be less guarded if he didn't believe that everything he told you in confidence wouldn't end up as a segment on a 90 Day Fiancé show? When he told her privately about how Florian walked that girl home after drinking at the bar, what did Darcey do? She withheld that information until The Last Resort Season 2 in order to sabotage Florian and Stacy's relationship, create more drama for their segment. Fast forward, Georgi and Florian don't even seem close anymore. If anything, it seems like Florian is trying to sabotage his relationship with Darcey now.
Two different energies. Maybe that's it.
I don't want this energy around me.
And I also don't want that kind of energy around me either. So do what you want to do. It sounded like you want to check out. So if you want to check out, check out. Find another chick to marry and figure it out. Maybe you already got backup because now you're working a spa with all the rich hot girls.
Oh, okay, so Georgi works at a nice spa in Miami, and Darcey is mad insecure about that. Cool, now we can see the full picture, you guys. For Georgi, I understand communicating you don't want this whack energy around your family, but you should have thought about that before you married this woman and brought her to Bulgaria to meet your family.
They have more than me and they're younger and prettier and whatever else, you know. I'm sure you're plotting and planning because that's what it feels like when we're back home. You're plotting and planning an exit because you got what you are.
You know what? I don't doubt that it feels that way, Darcey, but there is such a thing as the self-fulfilling prophecy, and when you dwell on the most negative outcome so much, you eventually push someone to that point. You're a 50-year-old mother of two living in Miami. Meanwhile, Georgi is 37 years old with no kids. Both of you make good money on this television show and all the different spin-offs. You have the clout, you have the money from the show, you're social media influencers with multiple streams of income. If he's still with you, then maybe you should treat him with a little more care because he 100% has better options than you do. Jesse and Tom were out real quick. I mean, out of everyone we've seen her date, Georgi seems to have the most in common with her. However, despite that obvious fact, both Darcey and Stacey have said similar things. You both don't see these men with you long term. Okay, well, if that's the case, break up with them and stop nagging about it constantly because it's repetitive. Georgi even said that the women that come to the spa have a lot more money than Darcey does. She stated that Georgi got what he wanted from her and she feels like he's going to discard her. Both the twins really love to place themselves in the victim position. Y'all have also gained plenty from Georgi and Florian as well. They're both actors on your spin-off show, plus the different 90 Day Fiancé shows you all appear on. I mean, this narrative that they were only with you for your money is so tired at this point because they already put in the time and their dad is way too smart to allow these cavemen to touch their family money. I'm sure the big butts are in a family trust and they view this TLC money as fun tokens. You know, it's like extra at this point. From the sound of things, Darcey and Georgi split the bills. So I don't understand why she's constantly nagging at him. I think that she would be a lot healthier with an older guy. Now, criticism for Georgi, he's really immature for 37 and he stonewalls a lot. You know, emotionally he shuts down, but I think it's because Darcey pushes him to that point and doesn't create a safe space for them to have open dialogue and for him to share the way he feels. He's basically highlighting that he chooses to be with Darcey despite having better options. And I don't disagree with that. I just wish he said it in a different way. And that's not to say that Georgi's some prize or anything. I just think that Darcey and Stacey are visually and socially unacceptable. And it's at the point where you can't really say that they can do better. They need to actually change the guys they go for because they like younger men that are Eastern European. And I don't think that's working out, especially because they're going to keep getting older and older. They're still trying to dress like they're in their 20s. Y'all are 50 years old. You know, like it's getting to the point where it's really embarrassing. And she goes on to claim that Georgi has gained everything he has from her. Meanwhile, she has gained nothing from him. Not only is that false, but it's a really bad look to help someone in their career and claim it's out of love, only to hold that over their head at a later date. Present day, Georgi's still married to Darcey, and I hope she realizes that a lot of other dudes would realize that they are better than this. Getting talked down to by a spoiled brat that has a bigger head than George Lopez, it's just crazy work. It's delusional. If Georgi was just with Darcey for the TV opportunity, he would have split a long time ago. If anything, both of their husbands deserve a pay increase for dealing with all the twins' nonsense for all these years. Darcey then yells at Georgi, "It's gonna keep being like this. This is why I left you the last time, because it's a vicious fucking cycle and you ran back multiple times and I said, no, I'm not doing this again." With the theatrical hand movements. This is such a ridiculous scene. She goes on to tell him that if he isn't happy, go. Darcey's his elder by many years, and her fight language is complete cancer. The majority of other women on the planet Earth wouldn't use a minor inconvenience to initiate an argument on this magnitude.
You need to make me comfortable for me to open to you and don't feel judged.
Yeah,
don't
and
feel...
I've never judged you, and every time I've asked you about those simple
So here
questions,
you go again.
I've
I'm trying
never...
to...
Here we go, a prime example. So as you can see, Darcey constantly speaks over Georgi and refuses to take accountability for her shortcomings. Not only does Darcey judge him, but she gossips about her husband with Stacy, Florian, and her friends. It seems like she cares more about her image than her husband.
I've never said it in a...
There you go again. I'm trying to open, I'm trying to talk, and you talk with me at the same time.
Just finish what you're saying. I'm listening.
Sometimes I don't need you to say anything. I just want to
I'll be
be
complacent.
able...
What the hell? This is such a disrespectful woman. She walks away, doesn't make eye contact when it's his turn to speak, and is still chirping in the background. Darcey, how about you sit down and shut your big grouper mouth so your husband can actually get a word in?
I just want to
I'll be
be
complacent.
able to talk with somebody for 30 minutes, for an hour, just for me to talk, just to let it go.
The next thing you know, Georgi brings up how for girls it's normal to call their parents and share their feelings, but for him as a boy, he doesn't do that. My advice to Georgi is that he needs some guy friends back in Miami that aren't femme or minions of the twins. At this point, his friendship with Florian is cooked, and he needs to start over because they keep relaying things about each other to their wives like little bitches. And then it just comes back to bite him in the ass and create more drama. Darcey has had all these placid shitter friends for years feeding her ego. It's only fair that Georgi has his own sphere of influence, and hopefully they're based. I don't know if he's going to find based dudes, but you know, one can only hope. Anyways, Georgi ends his rant by basically explaining he feels closed off because he has no one to talk to, and he wants to communicate with his wife and work on their communication overall, and he's willing to do so. But it's just that the atmosphere isn't ideal to do so. The next thing you know, Darcey does something that's a pleasant surprise. She takes the initiative to apologize to Georgi for not listening to what he has to say. This is a step in the right direction. She also tells Georgi that she loves him very much.
Well, tomorrow we're supposed to do something very important, which is to introduce you to my parents. And after all this, I don't know, do you still want to meet my family, my parents?
Darcey then tells Georgi that she's going to follow his lead tomorrow. They kiss and make up. They say I love you to each other. The underlying issues are patched up until the next episode. Sots, let me know what you think about this shit show of a relationship. Comment below, subscribe. Let's be friends, let's be friends.